So I think if you are, whether you're go into ministry, like a professional ministry, or you're thinking about another professionals for your dream, it's important to have the plan and philosophy that how you're gonna achieve the dream, right? So philosophy of ministry, the term, it sounds like a very difficult to understand, but if we really make it simple and make it something that even kindergartners can understand, then we can change it. Like a philosophy of ministry is the tools that I'm gonna use to accomplish my ministry, and also reason behind the tools. So let's say I hear someone says like I want to go to the unreached people group. Is that like overseas mission, right?
Yeah.
And you're probably thinking going there, creating small group, and hiring the local leaders. So those are tools, right? But you gotta have reason why you want to do small group, and why do you want to work with local people instead of bringing bunch of American missionaries there?
Mm-hmm.
It's a huge difference, right? Whenever you make those decisions, what kind of tools you're gonna use to achieve your ministry, you gotta have reason behind it. And I think the thing I'm going to introduce you guys today is pretty helpful. It's kind of very helpful, and it's famous among Christian education field, and it's called Frankena model. And I want to show you his picture. William Frankena. He was a professor of philosophy department in University of Michigan, Ann Arbor. And he also was a chairman for the department. And he created a wonderful model that he can use for educational philosophy of his education. And then one of the professor here, Trinity, his name is Dr. Sell. I'm not sure if he's still teaching. He used to teach pastoral ministry when I was doing the MD. He kind of modified this Frankena model into Christian ministry setting. So let me start explain what it looks like. So Frankena model basically requires 5 boxes, okay? 5 boxes. And I want to start explain each of the box. The first one is mission, okay? It's a ultimate goal of your ministry. I'm pretty sure the church that you attend or mission organization you belong, or even Trinity, we all have this mission statement, the ultimate one sentence that we want to see happen in the end, the goal of ministry. So mission statement, and usually mission statement looks like this. The mission of something is to glorify God by doing something for the target group. I think that it's very similar in any kind of setting. Maybe the sentence might be a little different, but it's really important to have the ultimate mission, that what you want to achieve through your ministry. Okay? And I want to put this box A here. Okay? I want to explain why I started from the bottom later. The next box is a worldview, box B, worldview. And in Christian setting, when we talk about worldview, it includes doctrines, what we believe. If you go church website, usually they have this on website, what we believe section, and you click it and they show you the important doctrines they believe in. And that's actually very influential part of creating their philosophy of ministry. And not only doctrine, what we believe, but also we need to have a picture of whom we are serving, the context. Okay? I don't know how many of you have like cross-cultural ministry experience or like an overseas mission. Do you guys have like a overseas mission experience? Okay, good. Can I ask where you've been to?
My family went to China and South Africa.
Oh, okay. Did you feel China, South Africa, America is exactly same?
No.
No way, right? What are the things that you felt very different from United States between South America and South Africa and China?
It was very different because people in South Africa don't have very much and people in America do. So they are much more like they hold on to God more. And it was really cool to see that.
I see. Yeah, even like thinking about teaching stuff. There are the culture people group who learn more from conversation, right? Or there are people group that they learn more from very directive teaching, like write down notes, memorizing stuff. So each context is very unique. So it's very important to have what we believe and also the information about the context that we're gonna serve. And box B is gonna be here. And we're gonna move to a third one. And the third one is desired outcome. Desired outcome. Okay? And if you don't have specific the fruit of your ministry, like what you want to see happen through your ministry, if you don't have this specific picture, then it's so easy that you get lost in the middle of ministry. Often pastors put a lot of effort preparing for a sermon, small group, but the biggest reason why the pastors get burned out so much is because I'm pastor too, so I can talk about myself. We don't have this specific desired outcome. We grew up in a church, in a Christian setting, and in kind of context, and we just think doing ministry, we have the picture like, doing ministry is this kind of thing, but often we don't know what we are trying to produce or what kind of fruits we want to see in our congregation's life or our mission field life. So to have desired outcome is, for my opinion, it's like having a map. You don't want to get lost in the middle of your ministry. So it's really essential to have desired outcome, but you don't have to worry about like how clear the desired outcome is, because in the beginning of all of our ministry, it's still like a very vague, ambiguous. But the more you learn about your context, the more you have a ministry experience, then it becomes clearer. You can see the whole picture. So what excellence is will your ministry accept as evidence of maturing in Christ? For example, this is a sentence that I took from Dr. Sell's paper. He said, maturing Christian adult participates regularly in an ongoing dialogue with God. Okay, this is like an example that he wanted to see happens after his ministry. Okay. And next one is box D. It's method. So basically, this box, you need to know about how people grow or transform or learn stuff. And I think education, if you studied education classes, it will give you good insights about how people experience the growth. But this is some area that we all need to study in social science setting. I know some denomination really put Bible in the highest authority, which I believe that's so true. But when we talk about the human beings, how they learn about God, and how they experience pains and wounds and traumas, and how they can recover from those process, I think studying about psychology, counseling, all those studies so helpful when we think about this method box. So for example, I want to show you some examples like that. This accountability sustains consistent prayer life. This is one of the example of how people grow in Christ. I know some of you probably you prefer just being yourself and read the Bible and pray on your own. But there are people who need a community, who can cheer up each other and who can work together. And the other example can be, we believe that life change happens best in small groups. So this is just an example. This is, I'm not showing you guys as the truth, but I just want to show you guys, when you think about methods, the way that people grow or transform, these kind of things you can think about. Accountability and small group. And then we only have one more box. That is strategies. Yes. Strategies, what we love most. Actual programs and curriculums. So there's no other box. I can put E right here. Strategies. Yes. So all these 5 boxes, they're actually connected somehow. And I want to show you how it cooperates together. So in Frankena model, your mission statement, the goal of your mission, and your belief and context work together, and that creates desired outcome. Okay? And then, with desired outcome, one hand desired outcome, and the other hand, you have methods. And it works together to create strategies. Okay? Why I put the boxes order in this way is that because often what we can see with our eyes are only this part. Like let's say, oh, that church is so growing. Or, wow, that mission organization is doing amazing. And often after we talk about like that, the things we pay attention is what they're doing, right? What kind of music songs are they singing? Or what kind of programs are they running? Or what kind of leaders are they hiring? And everything that we talk about is quite most of the time, often, only these strategies. Okay? But let's say we went to, what's the church around this area that flourishing in your opinion? Do you have anything in your mind?
I haven't gone anywhere in this area.
Oh, okay, that's
Maybe
fine.
Center Church.
Sorry?
I've heard Center Church grow.
Okay.
Yeah.
But do you think, For example, you went to church, learn everything what they're doing, and if you and then let's say you bring all the programs to completely different country setting, or let's say going into the inner city setting. Do you think it's gonna work? Some, maybe some, yeah, right? But there will be a lot of conflict.
Yeah.
A lot of conflict. Unnecessary conflict. Why those conflicts happen? Because we are ignoring this part. We gotta start from the mission, and we gotta start from our worldview. You know? If we don't have these, like a root, like a tree, okay? The tree, we can see the trunk and branch, and you know, the leaves and fruit, right? The only reason why this tree can flourish and survive is just because they have a deep down inside the root, right? So how many of you actually have your own like a plant? Did you guys have? Yeah? Have you ever tried to took it off from the ground? Have you tried it? Was it easy for you just put it out?
Depending on the plant.
Yeah, depends on plant, right? I try to have sesame leaf. Koreans love eating sesame leaf. So I try to make it grow, and then I put just this tiny one on the ground. And couple months later, it's not great. It looked like a dime. So I tried to take it out. But then I so surprised because I was using this size of pot to make it grow. And the entire soil I was lifting up just one plant, but the entire soil came up together, like this big soil. And I'm like, what's going on? And then I found the plant has so many roots in it, you know, and it's deep and it's tangled everywhere. And actually this root is a source of the energy and growth that, you know, get those nutritions or the necessary stuff. So we cannot ignore this part. It's let's say you go to some mission organization as a leader, and let's say the board member asks you like, so, you know, doctor somebody or pastor somebody, so what's your philosophy of ministry? And they're not just looking at the programs and curriculums you bring in. They're more interested in how you chose the programs and curriculums. They're more interested in your mission and your worldview, like a belief and context, your understanding about context, and then your desired outcome, and also methods. They will seek to see this unseen part. Okay? And of course, there are many different ways to describe philosophy of ministry, and there are many tons of tools that help you creating your philosophy of ministry. But this Frankena model, I think, from my own experience and spending, you know, more than 15 years in evangelical schools, this is pretty effective. I can guarantee you. This is well-known model.